Okay, we are now live at Royal Caribbean Utopia at the Seas. We're in the Golden Room, and they're doing rehearsals in the background. Those couldn't close those doors, so there's going to be some background music. They're rehearsing, and if you're here, give me a heart or something. Let me know you're there. Make a little comment, and of course, give this a thumbs up. We're going to do a live roulette demonstration, strategies, Q&A. I'm going to go over how I won $450 yesterday in 30 minutes betting low limit, except for a few, which I'll go over. And I started with $800 bankroll, really 300, but I had to go a little deeper. So I think I recommend about $800 bankroll. And my goal was really just to go in and win 5 spins, $10 a spin, win 50 bucks, and just get out, playing around. But I got a couple of whacks, and I increased my bets, and then I started doing different strategies just for fun. And then what I call recovery strategies, that's to win more money with the same amount. You have less chance, but you win more money, so you can recover faster. But if you can catch a streak and you look at the board and you can see certain columns or dozens are hitting more frequently, then you can do really well. I did good on the second and third columns yesterday. So let me look at a couple of the questions. I'm here to learn some strategies for my next cruise. Definitely, I can help you with that. And what are the numbers you play on 00 table? Okay, so my typical numbers, which I wasn't going to cover the big betting, but I have a video for that. The numbers I cover is usually about 27, about 26, 27 numbers. And let me flip it around here because you can see visually. Put $25 there. 1-2 split, usually $25 there. 5, usually $20 to $25. 8 usually have about $50 to $52. 7 and 11 usually about 15. 12 I usually have about 25 to 30. 13 usually have about 20. I increase if the numbers are hitting. 17 and 20 I usually have like 50 on the center and 10 on each minimum, plus a couple of splits. I do like $20 on 18-21 split typically. About $25 to $30 on 19, 20 to 25 on 22. And usually I put a split $5 on either side of the 23 and then 2 chips on 23 at $5 chips. I do about $25 typically, 28, 29 split, but I'll go up to 30 if they're hitting. Usually $20 on 27. I cover these numbers. I put 2 chips here. That's $5 chips. I do a split. Usually put $25 on 32. Another $5 on the split. 3 chips here. Usually 3 chips here, and then a little $5 split in there. So that's what I cover. That's like a $550 bet. I double down on winning bets, but I'm not really here to go over that. I'm here to go over some simple strategies that you can use, and you don't have to bet very big. Don't have to bet more than $120 to $200 a bet. And hopefully you don't ever have to bet $200. But I'm going to let my wife hold the camera so she can. All right, so the first strategy I'm going to go over, and sorry, make believe these are all $5 chips. So usually on the outsides, you got to play $5 minimum per bet. On this ship, it's $10. But anyway, make believe these are all, everything I have here, make believe is $5 chips for demonstration purposes. First method is very simple. I call it the 3-2 punch. And in this case, I'm going to use units of $10. So these are $5 chips. So each unit is going to be $10, okay? So you're going to take $30 on 19 through 36, $20 on 1 through 12. That's a $50 bet. You win $10 on any number that hits, 1 through 12, 19 through 36. The only times you get whacked are these 6 numbers right here and the 2 zeros. So that's a 79% chance of winning. And it's an 81% chance if you can get on a European wheel with a single zero. And definitely play the single zero wheel if you can get one. So that's $50 and you win 10. What happens if you lose? Oh, it happened to me. I hate to say this, but you're going to have to go up to a $200 bet. You do 120 on the 19 through 36, and you do 80 on the 1 through 12. You have the same percentages, but now you win $40. So you do this 3 consecutive times, then you drop back down to your $50 bet. So hopefully you get your 3 times 40, you get 120, then you can drop back down and get your $10 wins with 30 and 20. Now, what happens if you get whacked again? This is what I did yesterday. So I was betting 120 and 80. All right, so I got whacked once, and I kept doing it. I think I got 2 or 3 wins. I dropped down. I kind of lost again. I went back up, got whacked again. So I decided, I noticed that a lot of the second and third columns were hitting up on the board. So look at the board. In this case, looks like a lot of third column and probably second. So I would say second and third column. So once this wasn't very successful, I started going to playing second and third columns. I was doing $20 each, and they were hitting pretty good. A lot of times what I do is you're betting $40 to win 20, but any of these numbers are winners, so you win 20 bucks. So say second column hits. So now you get paid out. That's what you're left with. So what I end up doing is I just take that whole thing and I just press it. And if you win again, then you're going to win. You're going to win that much. You could even take it one more time and press it. So you still have your original $80 bet, and now you're betting big. So you take advantage of streaks. Usually about 3 in a row, I will back off quite a bit on the bets. Usually about 3 or 4 spins you win. It's time to cut back a little bit and get another streak going. So that's kind of what I do to recover. You can also certainly do columns. You can do like $20 per column. I'm sorry, $20 per dozen. So in here you have 20 and 20. Anything in here wins 20 bucks. So if you get say this is the winning number, then you just get your payout right there. And you can do the same thing. You can press, just keep your winnings on the table, and say you get another one, that one. So now you win that much. Now you can just keep you still have $40 that you started with, but now you're really pressing it. So now you can have even more. So in this case, this is 80 bucks. So 80 and 80, that's 160, but you really started with 80. So you doubled your winnings, and now you're pressing it. Now if you win here, you win 160. So that's a really quick way to recover. But the 3 units here and 2 units there, that's a good, easy way, $50. That's a good way to do it. See any questions on there? No questions yet? All right. Let me go back to a basic strategy. So just for the fundamentals of roulette, any of these outside bets, these are 2-to-1 bets. So the first dozen, second dozen, third dozen. So the third dozen, for example, pays, any of these numbers are winning, pays 2-to-1. Same thing with the columns. Each column covers all the way down. Those pay 2-to-1. So if you bet $15 and you win 30 bucks. To increase your chances, a lot of people pick 2, and then if you win, then say the second column hits, then you win half of what your bet was. But you got a pretty good chance to do that. Now, betting on the inside is where the big money is. That's usually where I play, and any of these numbers pays 35-to-1. The maximum bet is $100, so we'll just do that. That's the maximum bet. So if you hit on that number, it pays $3,500. All of these numbers around it, you can play. These are the splits. So any of these, These pay 17 to 1. Covers two numbers, but it pays 17 to 1. If you play on a corner, this covers four numbers, but it pays 8 to 1. You can also play a street. So this covers three numbers, pays 11 to 1. You can do a double street, it pays 5 to 1. So if you get a number, say this number hits, then they pay you out this many chips just with one. So one chip, you get 5 back. So that is double street. What are zeros? It's just like any other number. They are the house edge if you're betting any of these outside bets or inside bets. So, if you don't play these and they hit, obviously you don't win. But that's a way for the house to give a better edge for any of these that cover, especially these. Any of these. It'll wipe out any of the outside bets. So a lot of times what I recommend is for every $25 you put on a dozen, so say you put 25 and 25, it's always good to put $5 insurance right there. It'll cut into your winnings, so now you'll win 20. So you're betting 25, and so you're betting 50. So if you just did that alone, you're betting 50, you would win 25. But if you put an insurance bet, I call it, you're going to actually lose your 50 there, but you actually win 85 there. That's actually would pay more. But this comes more important the higher you bet. So say these are really $500 chips. So the maximum you can put on these 2-to-1 bets is 500 and 500. That's $1,000 to win 500. That's a gutsy bet. I saw a guy doing it last night, but that's a very gutsy bet. For every $25 on here, I recommend putting something on there. And usually in this case, it would be a $100 chip. I would put, and that's your maximum, by the way. So that's your max. That's your max. So now you would win 400, but at least you don't get whacked here. But if you hit this, you win $1,700. So you're going to have a $1,100 bet. You'll get back $1,700. So you could do the 100 there, or you could do even 75. So 75 would be less than that, but it'd be almost break even. So that's one way to hedge a very large column bet or dozen bet. Now, let me show you what I did last night to turn $60 into $350, just like that. Any questions yet? Are people there? Any comments? There's 100 people there. Okay. Give me some comments. Let me know you're there. Okay. How did I turn $60 into $350 yesterday, just like that? Triple entry max climax. I got this from the CEG dealer school, but I use my own version. So I do make believe these are all $5 chips. Sorry, all I have is 500s, some pocket change, but so I use $20 bets. So here's an example: 20 there, 20 there, 20 there. So you can pick any 3 even money bets that don't conflict. In other words, don't do that. That's not. So you can do black odd large, you can do red odd large, you can do red even large, you can do that, so whatever. So I like to do big black odd. Sounds kind of weird, but so you're betting $60. It's a positive progression because you don't have to double up if you lose. You just reset. So here I recommend $600 to $800 bankroll. I ended up having an $800 bankroll, but anyway, it worked. So I bet 60 total. And if you get all 3, then you win 20 there, you win 20 there, and you win 20 there. So now you have $120. You're going to jump. So you're going to skip step 2. I'll show you what step 2 is. But you get all 3 of these, you go right into the triple entry max climax. So now you have $120 from your 60. You pick 12 numbers. You put $10 on each number. So you just pick numbers at random, 12 numbers. So there you go. Now you have basically a 1 in 3 chance, minus the zeros, of winning something. So say you get just like that. I got the winning number there. Now you get $350. So you turned your $60 into 350, really 360 because you have so you get $350 profit from your $60 bet. So you get all that profit, get paid out, and you can certainly do the same bet again. You can still do that. Or I like to switch it up a little bit. So instead of staying with big black odd, I would maybe say black and even if black is hot. Or you can switch that. If you still think it's going to be large, just stay with that. You can go even, red, and 19 through 36. So $20, $20, $20. Here's what happens if you only get a partial. So say the winning number is number 16. Okay, so you win $20 there, and you win $20 there. So now you have 20, 40, 60, 80. Now what you do with this, you take your winnings, you press it, and you go to 2 dozens. So this one's a loser. So now you go to 2 dozens. So now you have 60 and 60, right? So say the winning number is 12. All right, so you win there. So now you have $120 from your original $60 bet. So now you do the same thing. Now you go in there and you go with 12 numbers. I like 12, not 10, because you get better chance. So you go to 12 numbers, $10 per number. Just spread them out. My wife's favorite number. And if you lose, you just start over and go 60 total outside. If you win, you get 350, bing, 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 bing. And then you start over and you do again. So that's a good way to play $60 bets, positive progression, turn it into pretty big money. A lot of people will maybe try $75, 25, 25, 25, and then they go for 10 numbers at 15 per number. But I think you got a better chance, 12 numbers and $10, you win $350. So that's what I like to do. And that's what I did yesterday. So I hit number 31. I had 20, 20, 20. Hit number 31. And so I took it right into the house, and I started picking numbers. I was down to my last 10, and I was going to either pick 27 or 33. And I said, well, all right. And I thought about that one. And then, of course, 27 hit. So, all right, I started over, went back again, big, black, odd, and then it hit like 26. So like, no, not 26. What did it hit? Like 20, it's something, maybe this one. So then I said, all right, now I went in and I looked at the hot numbers. So I always look at the number board. And since in this method, I just play randomly 12 numbers, I'm going to play the hot numbers every time. And I never play 6 for one of my numbers. And sure enough, 6 hit. So took my 350. I was already up $100 before that. So I took my 450 profit and I left. But pretty much the whole time I played, most of the time I was doing the 3 units here and the 2 units here. And anytime you hit, you win $10. If you get a losing spin like this, then I had to go up to the triple martingale. Did $80 there and 120 here. So this was a $200 bet to win 40. But I only lost on it twice. So I had a 120 and 80. So any of these numbers that hit, except for these and the zeros, you have a 79% chance of winning. So this would be $40. So you do that 3 times, then you can drop back down to your 3 and 2. But also what I was doing was I was switching. So I would take the 3 units and go to the 1 through 18, and I would go to the 2 units in the 3rd through 12. Now these were the only whacks and the zeros. But here's another variation to increase your chances even more. So say you're doing the $50 bet, 30 here, 1 through 18, 30 on the 3rd dozen. You can take $2 chips and say you want to cover 2 more numbers. Now you have $8 win if you win anything. This is a partial loss. So you get $36 back from 52, you lose $16 if any of these 2 hit. So those are your safety bets. You lose only 16 instead of 52, but you have an 84% chance of hitting something, not getting whacked. An 86% chance of not getting whacked on a European wheel. So that's another variation you can do. If these are triple martingaled, then you're going to have to use a $5 chip, and I would probably put it in the center so you can get at least $85 back. So you cut your loss from, instead of a 200, you cut it down, you get 85 of it back. So that's one of the things you can do. Let me show you another thing. There's a couple of other strategies I like to use. The Romanovsky, that's very easy. This one needs to be you do, let me see here, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So say these are 6. I'm going to show you this one here. Okay. So this is going to be 60 and 60, and then any 2 corners, 20 and 20. So in this case, you're doing a 3 to 1 ratio, 60 to 20. So make believe these are $5 chips. So 60, 60, 20, 20. Anything that you win is equal to these corner bets, so $20. You can certainly do 30 and 30 and 10, 10, and if you lose, you can double it. But right now we're doing 60 and 60, 20 and 20. Your only whacks here, you have 2, 4, 6. You're covering 81% of the wheel, 81% of the wheel. And a European, you're covering 83%. No, what is it? 79% for covering 30. Yeah, you're covering 84% of the wheel and 86% of the European wheel. So that is one method. Here's another one that you cover even more numbers. Here, this will give you an 81% chance on an American wheel. So now watch this. Instead of having 4 whacks here in the first dozen in this example, and say you have 50 and 50, then you pick any 3 single streets. Now you have an 81% chance of hitting anything, and you'll win whatever is equal to these. So these are $10. So anything that you hit, you win $10. And I know it's a large bet, 50, 50, 10, 10, 10. So it's 130 to win 10. But you have like an 84% chance. So pretty high chance. So it's one of those you can do for like 5 spins and get out. 5 spins and get out. Okay? So that is what I call the modified Romanovsky. Any questions?
No, you have almost 400 people watching.
All right. So what else do I like to do here? Oh, here's a good one. Here's a really good one. I might be able to do this in real life. All right. So I call this, instead of betting on 2 dozens or 2 columns, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, watch this. I call this the corner snake bet. you can, in this example, I'm going to use $100. You can use $25 chips. But in this example, I do corner bets. All right, see how they set up? It's betting 24 numbers. So the big difference between this and 2 dozens, you're betting still 600 to win 300. So it's the same thing as saying this. It would be the same payout, same number of chances, but this is only these numbers. So you want to really spread it out. Now it doesn't matter big or small. They're going to be, so you're covering still 2 dozens, but they're all spread out. You're covering big numbers, you're covering medium numbers, and you're covering small numbers. So this gives you actually a better, just to try to guess high and low, because now you have a whole mixture and you're still covering 24 numbers, 2 dozen or 2 columns. So in this case, it's almost like you could take the money and put them all here, but see, this still covers, so this covers first, second, and third columns. It covers first, second, and third dozen. So they're more spread out. So if you get the picture of a roulette wheel and you graphically mark out all the numbers this covers on the wheel, it actually works out better because these are all separated on the wheel opposite of each other. Some of them are close together, like these. They're only separated by 1 number. But a lot of these are opposite sides of the wheel. And so it seems like you get better coverage if you want to play 2 dozens or 2 columns to do this. Now you can certainly use $25 chips. So any of these, you win 3 times what one of these bets are. So if you do $25 chips, 25, 25, 25, 25, then you win $75. So you're betting 150 to win 75. So whatever you're betting here, you'll get half of it back in profit. So it's the same thing as betting, like this, same payout, but this only covers all the way down here. Or the other one, you get a whole mixture of, it scatters them out. Now, if you're betting this big, say you're doing, this, one thing I still like to do, how much you have here? $600? I'd put at least 50 bucks on the half of one of these on the split zeros. So now you're covering 26 numbers. You have a better chance. So yeah, you're going to cut into your loss and you're going to win 250 now. But if you get that, you're going to win 850 back. So you're actually going to win a little money if you get the zeros, because this will pay 850. So you have 600. So you have a 650 bet. This pays 850. So you'll actually win $250 if the zeros hit. Or if you want to cut down on that a little bit, you can do 30. If you do 25, you're only going to get paid $425. So, yeah, you'll win $275 because you lose this. But if this hits, you get $425 back. So almost your bet back. So, it's up to you whether you want to do 25 or 30 or even more. But I really like doing this as just betting this over and over. Now you can also switch it up. You can do it backwards like this, like that. If certain numbers are, so say you want to make sure you're covering certain numbers, like these or these, instead of those, you want to cover, So in other words, if like 3 is a hot number, you probably want to not put this here. You want to put it there. So that's what I do to mix it up. That's a.
I have a question. Can you go over your main strategy?
Okay.
Then someone asks, is that allowed?
Is what allowed?
That is just reading the question.
Yep, that is allowed on now electronic table gaming. Electronic table gaming. This bet here will not be allowed because it covers too many numbers. So this is only for live play. If you're doing like the 5-to-1 ratio, So this will cover 84% of the wheel, and you'll win whatever equal to this. That's not allowed on electronic table gaming. Okay, so now please like and subscribe, by the way. On my channel, I do have a video how I bet high limit. I can go over it one more time. Again, these are all just different denominations. This is all I have for demonstration purposes. But these are the numbers I play. I'm just going to put like one chip on each number that I play, and I'll go over the amounts. This is what I typically do. No, sorry, that. All right, so those are the basic numbers I cover, and then their amount of betting varies. Let me just count how many numbers I cover. That at least I get something coming back, because this doesn't count. It doesn't count any. I do that usually. Any last second bet. You know, if I see a hot number that I don't normally play, I will put money on it for whatever. So normally I'll play like one more. That's about what I play typically. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. There's 27 to 28 numbers. That's 27 if I only put like maybe one insurance, I call it insurance, a small bet. Say a number that's kind of in the neighborhood, or if I see 24 keep hitting, I'll put more on it. But, sometimes I'll do splits here, for extra payout. I'll put extra payout I'll put extra splits. If I'm adding extra, I'm going to try to at least catch a piece of one of my numbers. So, like in this case, instead of doing that, I'd rather do that. If 35 hits, you don't win that much, but at least you're pressing your big numbers, and that's where bigger wins come. So, for example, like on the 17 and 20, I will usually put $50 on the split and 10 on each. And then these are all fives, so I'll cover these with fives. Sometimes I'll add another chip. The more I win, I start pressing more outside, areas that I don't normally cover. My biggest numbers are 8. Usually I have $52 on number 8. And then these are all fives. I will put, I run out of chips. 7. So yeah, definitely 27 numbers. I usually have 15 on these two. These are fives. This is 52. My next biggest bets, 17 and 20, usually pays 1,300 and change. It was $50 on the split. And then 10 and 10. And then these are fives. I'll add those. 19 and 12 usually have at least 25, if not more. This one is good. I usually have 25 on there and surrounded by fives. Anytime I win, I double down. So just say this hits, then the next bet I'll actually have 100 on the number, and then I'll have like more on the I'll put more, and I'll just press. So I always double down my winning bets. And so here's an example. The other night I put $20 on number 13. It was the winning number. Next spin, I put another $20 and it hit. So in 2 spins, I got 700 plus 1,400. So in 2 spins, I got 2,100. Now this is a $550 bet. So it's not easy for most people to do this, but that's what I typically do. And the other night I won like $7,000 in like about 3 hours. I got a lucky streak, but the first night I lost 4,000. So, it's just a matter of how lucky you are, and you catch a streak, you catch some of your numbers. I've hit this number 3 in a row, 3 different times. Last night I got 8, or the night before I ate 2 in a row. In fact, 3 different cruises I hit 8 2 in a row, or 3 in a row. 2 in a row, sorry, yeah, 2. So the last 3 cruises I hit 8 2 in a row. So last night I got paid out, or the night before, On the second spin on number 8, I got paid out $4,180. That was like a new record, $4,180. But I had maxed it out, so that was the maximum you can put. And then I had like $10, $10, $10, $10. So that's what I had on number 8. 100, and then all these were 10, then 10, 20, 30, 40. And it hit again. That's when so then the next spin, you can't add any more because that's the max. So then I added like 10 more to each of these, and it would have paid 5,000. If it hit again, then I would have started doing, this stuff. So let me show you another strategy that's actually pretty interesting. I've actually used it before, and in this room on the first night, did pretty good. I'm going to try to use live chips. So this one is the dirty bird. I call this the dirty bird. This one has to do a 3-to-1 ratio, 150. And we'll make believe these are 25s. Okay, make believe these are $25 chips. So you've got to do a 3-to-1 ratio, 150, and do 50, 50, 50, 50, 50. So if you look at the pattern, it looks like the wings of a bird. So this is 150. It's a $350 bet. Sorry for the noise. They're no annoying. So there's a $350 bet. If you win here, 150, 150, just say 150. So that you win $100. So anything you win twice as much as your outside bets. So it's a $350 bet, and you do win $100, but you have a pretty good chance. Okay, so you put 150 in the second, and you do 50, 50, 50, 50. Your only whacks are you have 2, 4, 6, 8. You have 10 whacks. So you're covering 28 out of 38 numbers, 28 out of 37 numbers on the European wheel. So it's better to do the European wheel anytime you can. Oh, wait, there. Okay. So that's the dirty bird. So your only whacks are these two, these two, these two, these two. So 2, 4, 6, 8, and the zeros. So 10 whacks. So you're covering 28 out of 38. So it's a little higher risk, and you're betting 350 to win 100. You can certainly, if you bet to win 100, you would have to bet 200 on the dozens. So you'd cover less numbers. You'd cover 24 out of 28. So this is the game of roulette. The higher risk, the higher reward. And the lower the risk, the lower reward. So in this case, it's a little bit higher risk. It's actually lower risk than the 2 dozens because you're covering 28 numbers. So to bet 350 to win 100, that's a good chance. Because if you try to do 350 on this, you'd only win 175. Let's see, 350. Let's say you do 175 and 175, and you'd bet 350 to win 175 there, but you only have 24 numbers covered. So you have a higher win, but you're only covering 24 versus the other one where you're covering 28. So that's something that I have done before, but I really like the little snake bet. However you want to arrange it. Hold on here. Corner bets. This one, this one, this one, this one. You got to make sure they're spread out and they don't overlap. There. It's only 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And again, you're covering 24 numbers, just like 2 dozen. And I like the spread much better than trying to pick columns or doesn't. You have the same exact chance, 24 numbers out of 38, but it's spread out much more evenly on the wheel. You got high, you got low, you got middle, you got different columns. Everything's covered. So that's a good bet. Let's go over another really popular strategy. My wife even likes this. Double street martingale. So in this case, you can pick 5 double streets. Let's just do $20 per double street. It's a $100 bet. So we can, in this example, we can do non-overlapping double streets. So there's 20, 20, 20, 20. There's a $100 bet to win 20 bucks. Your only whacks, you have 8 whacks. You have 34, 35, 36, 1, 2, 3, and the zeros. So that is still a pretty good chance of winning. You're covering 30 out of 38. Now, this is a 79% chance. Now, if you see a hot number that's on the board or a number that's been hitting a lot, make sure you cover it. So 36, see that, 36? I'm probably going to move this one to there. If you think it's all going to be high numbers, you can just move everything. So basically, anything from 7 all the way to 36, you're going to win 20 bucks. So that's another good way to do it. If you don't think there's going to be any low numbers at all, just move them all here. If you get a whack, you can stay flat betting. You have to win 5 spins to make up, but you can move your there because a lot of times the opposite side of the wheel hits, so you want to cover that. But worst case scenario, they have the martingale. You can do it I do it one time. So say you go up 20 bucks. So you know, make believe I have enough chips. So now you're doing 40, 40, 40, 40. Just make believe they're all 40. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Now you got to double your bet. But now you're winning 40 bucks. So you need only three more spins to catch back up, and then you can drop back down. Okay. Here's another variation that I like to do on the martingale, on the double street. So we'll go back to our $20 basic bet. Sometimes I notice, like say the third column keeps hitting a lot. I put half of this on the third column. So now any of these numbers here are jackpots. So 9 through all the way here are jackpots. So you not only win 20 here, you win 10 there. No, I'm sorry, you win 20 there because there's 10. So you win 10 and 10. So you win 20 bucks there. So if you get one of these, you win 20, and then you win 20. So now you win 40 bucks. So you double your winnings. If you only get, these are whacks right here, partial whacks. So you get your 20 bucks there, but you're going to cut your losses. So you lose 100, you know, you'll get back some of your money. So you could do that. That's one option. What else do we have here? So that's the double street with adding of the column. I'll add half of it. If you add the same bet, 20. So now you're doing a $120 bet. But, you know, you don't want to do that because the reason I do the 10 is because if any of these hit, it's a break even. And no, actually, no, you cut your losses. It's not a break even. It's you lose 10 there and you win 20 there. So you cut your loss, but at least you're still winning. We don't want break even bets. So to recap on the martingale, the double street martingale, if you don't want to martingale it, you can add a hot column, and you can even switch these around. But say, for example, on the third column, you get anything up here, and you win 40 bucks. If you get anything in here, you win 10 because you cut your losses a little bit, but at least you're winning 10 bucks. So you have still a really good chance. And then if you get any of these two, it's not a total whack. You know, you are getting, you're going to have 30 bucks back. Instead of losing 100, and 10, you're only going to lose 70. So you got that going for you. So that is a double street. And I showed you the Romanovsky. That's the typically, $75 per bet. Let's see. That's you do a 3-to-1 ratio. So do 60. Again, the $60, $60, and do 20 and 20. I think that's 60. And so anything you win $20. So whatever equal to these is 20. And you got a pretty good chance of winning. If you want to switch these around, you can. Or if you want to move it down here and do that, it's the same thing. So whatever these are, that's what you win. So if you have 20 here, you got to have 3 times that here. So 60 and 60. So 120 plus 20, 140 plus 20, 160. So $160 bet. You win 20, but you cover 79% of the wheel. So those are some roulette strategies that you can try. And I'll go over one more time the triple entry, because that's a pretty good one. In case you just joined, it's a $60 bet. And you pick 3 even money bets that don't conflict. So don't pick even and odd. You don't want to do that. You want to pick a color and an odd and a large. So in this case, we are betting for big black odd. And so in my example, last night I was playing, I had $60, hit number 31. So I got my winnings. You win there, you win there. Now you have 120, right? So now you have 120. You take your 120 and you press it. You do 12 numbers, $10 per number. You just start picking random numbers, $12 a number, $10 a number, sorry, 12 numbers. And that. So, say you pick 12 numbers. And what happened to me last night was I did that, and then number 6. I picked the hot numbers. So you see the board, you see the hot numbers. I didn't do it here, but I would pick the 4 hot numbers. Plus, I would include numbers that have hit here recently. Like in this case, looks like 25. I would probably put 25. So in this example, I would do definitely 5. 6 didn't hit, so 7 hit. I would probably pick that. I would pick that number. I'd pick 25. Obviously, 36. So I make sure at least the hot numbers are covered. Let's see. So anyway, that's the whole point. 12 numbers. So you got a chance, a 1 in 3 chance minus the zeros. And if you lose, you start over and you get your $60 back up. What happens if you only win? Let me go over a different scenario. So say you do your $60 bets, 20, 40, 60. Say you win, say it's turns out to be this. All right, so you lose that, but now you have, so you just parlay this, you just take your winnings, put it on 2 dozen. Okay? If it loses, you start over. If it wins, you go back and do 12 numbers, 10 per number. One more scenario, that's a possible outcome. Okay? What if it turns out to be this one? All right, so you lose this, but you get this. All right, so now you have 20, you have 40. So with that, you pick 1 dozen. So say I want to follow the dozen, and we're going to put it there. If you lose, you start back over. So I recommend $600 to $800 bankroll. If you get a number, say it hits 4, now you back up to your $120. So there's your 120. That's your step 2. Now you go in and you do your, 2 numbers and 2 and, all your numbers. And you pick your So you want to do that one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So there's your 12 numbers. And if you lose, you start over. If you win, you get your 350, and you can leave or start over. And so that's how that works. I kind of like that, you know. But that one and the 3-2 punch, where you're doing $30 on the large and $20 on the first dozen. Or you can do $30 on the 1 through 18, $20 on the third dozen. And in this case, your whacks are here. If you want to put $2 and now cover much more of the wheel, you'll get $16 loss if one of these hit, but you have at least losing, instead of losing 50, you lose 16. So that's a variation, but $10 a pop, anything you win. And, you know, go for like 5 or 6 spins, even 4 spins, switch it up. Oops. It's got to be 3-2 ratio, because this is pays 1-1. This pays 2-1. So that's your 3-2 ratio. All right. What else? What else can we show you?
Well, it's spinning. They're asking for spins. The wheels
Oh, they're not open right now.
not open.
So I can't do it right now. They're not open. So we're just going through, and I'm going to show you the board here. So if I were to come in here, now I showed you how I normally play. I play, you know, 550, 600 a spin. If I play, would have to spin more than 10 times a game. I don't have a ball. Yeah, if I touch this, they're going to come in here. They got cameras all over the place. So looking at the board here, if I was playing my regular system last night, I would not do well, because this is a partial loss. That's a small win, small win. That's a pretty decent win. That's a decent win. That's a break even. That's a decent win. But yeah, I wouldn't have done good last night at this table. Most of the numbers I play are the black ones. The big ones that I play are black. But, you know, if you like dozens, certainly, you know, get yourself $25 in chips, or you can get $5 in chips. But $150 bets to win 75. I like to make believe these are all quarters. You know, again, I really like this little strategy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So make believe these are all $25 chips, which most of them are, and you win half of your bet. So in this case, it would be a 150, and you're winning 75. So it's just like betting 2 columns or 2 dozens. I know they're not open. I can't do anything. They're not spending 800 to win 20. This one's only spending 150 to win 75. That's pretty good. All right, let me go back and look at some of the questions here. I can't spin the wheel. Everyone has their favorite numbers. Again, one of the easy, and you know, you can do 2 systems at once. You can easily do 2 systems at once. So say you want to do the 30, the 3-2 ratio. So you're doing 10, say that's $20 there, and say that's $30 there. So that's the 3-2 ratio. That's $50 to win 10, but you're covering a lot of numbers. And say you want to do columns, so you can do, say you notice the second and third column keeps hitting. So you have jackpot numbers you can get. So obviously, any of these numbers in here are jackpot numbers for you. Looks like any of these numbers in here are jackpot numbers for you. So you got a lot of jackpot numbers. So you win $10 here, and you win $10 there. So you're betting $70 to win 20, but you have very good odds. You're betting $70 to win 20. You have partial loss if you get Let's see, because these are the whacks here. So you'll get partial loss on these two. Your only total whacks really are these two numbers. You have 4 total whacks on this system, 4 and the 0. Yeah, these two. So you're covering 34 out of 38 numbers if you do this. It's a 3-to-2 ratio. So these are $10 units, 30 and 20, and then you just do 10 and 10. So you win $10 plus 10, you win $20. So $70 to win 20, but you got a huge chance of winning. Do that 5 in a row, that's $100. Easy, easy. $500, 5 spins, $100, easy. When is the table open? I think it's like 4 o'clock. Well, I mean, you can just bet red or black, but I never seen people win a lot of money betting red or black unless they come in for one spin and leave. But you have a 50% chance. I'd rather give myself a 79% chance and win 3 or 4 spins and get the better payout versus putting it all on one color. That's just not the best one. Yep, those are good numbers. Let's see, go black. I know. That's why I go into when I do my triple threat here, I'll do usually that right there. There's another method that you can do, color column dozen. So you have to do a 2-to-1 ratio. You do $20 on red, $10 on one column, and $10 color column dozen. So here is 30, 10, 20, 20, 30, 40. So there's $40 bet. What can you win with $40 bet? Well, you could get a jackpot. Any of these two are jackpot numbers. You'll win $10 there, you'll win $10 there, and you'll win $20 there. You'll win $50. So you can take your 50 and win 50, but you have way better chance than 50% to win at least something. This you have like a 48% chance of winning, period. So it's better to spread it out. Even if you do just a couple of, red odd, or even 3 of them, red odd and small, these are good ways to play. And the table minimum in this case is $10, so you can do 10, 10, and 10, and just play around with that for a while. And as you win, you can press your numbers and just press your bets. Maybe add a column. You can add a dozen. So you can get 4 types of things going on at once. You can do 10 on odd, 10 on a dozen, 10 on red, 10 on the first 1 through 18. So you can do so many things with it. So I don't prefer just betting on one color. All right, everybody. Well, thank you for joining. Please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe. I got live videos on my channel, lots of roulette instructional videos. But I wanted to check in with you all live and give you some pointers. And 19 is big. Yes, that's one of my big numbers. This is real money. Have I ever played the game with real money? This is real money. This was my winnings right here. So, yeah. All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Hit the like and subscribe, please. Bet the prime numbers 11 to return 3. Yeah, you can do that too. All right, I got to go. See ya.